From Chittum Field in Norfolk, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Eastern Regional Playoffs, Division 5, the Lake Taylor Titans and the Hampton Crabbers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Chittum Field at Norview High School for this Eastern Regional semifinal game between the 9-1 Hampton Crabbers and the 9-1 Lake Taylor Titans. And Bob, we're going to hear from both of the coaches. They're going to pretty much say the same thing that we're going to talk about. This is a situation where it's sudden death. Yeah. You win, you're on to go to another game. You lose, you're out. Now, Lake Taylor, 9-1, same as Hampton. They come in here with a pretty good-looking team, as does Hampton. Right.
Well, you know, but you have to look at the competition, and Lake Taylor played some good competition this year, but I don't know if it is as tough as on a Peninsula. Peninsula has always been a tougher conference. In the state, one of the toughest in the states, but don't take anything away from you. You play 9-1, and you have a quarterback that can throw over about 1,700 yards, and a runner that's going to run about 1,000 yards, and another guy's going to catch 42 passes. Yeah, you know, they didn't do that by sitting back and people falling down for them. They had to go out and earn it, and Coach Sawyer is real proud of these young men. They've really responded well to his direction this year, and he feels real confident coming into tonight's ball game.
Well, I've looked at their record. They have one shutout. They've kept most of their teams that they've played in single digits, but they had some tough contests, and they didn't overwhelm anyone. There weren't any 48-0s or 68-7s or anything like that in there. So Lake Taylor has had to play some close games, which is good. You know, you want to have that kind of mentality coming into the game. But whether they've played the exact same caliber of competition, well, you know, it's easy for us to want to make that assumption. Hampton's had to play Heritage, Warwick, Phoebus, and the rest of the peninsula, who can jump up and bite you any time.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. And I, quite frankly, you know, we want to talk about both teams, but what I look for in this game is, if all things are equal, and I don't know that they are, but if they were, the playoff experience that the coaches and some of these players have is going to be a huge difference here.
Oh, I think so. I think coming into a playoff with Hampton, have been in the, I don't know how many times they've been in the playoff, 20-some years they've been into the playoffs. But you look at what Lake Taylor did, and a lot of the games were close, Tim. Then you got to look on the other side of the ball and look at the defense. The defense may not be as good as their offense. Their offense can score, but can their defense stop the other team? And sometimes that becomes a problem with you having kids going both ways. Mm-hmm. And both of these teams have kids that play both sides of the ball, offense and defense. You get tired later on in the game. I don't care what your position you're playing, but Hampton, have we seen, have got enough running backs and people that can catch the ball that they get rest in between. So,
and that's the point that I would make. And we don't know a lot about Lake Taylor. Quite frankly, we try to get as much information as we can, but we're much more familiar with Hampton and their opponents. Now, Hampton has, and we've talked about this over the regular season, they have a wealth of running backs. You've got Wyatt, you've got Jones, you've got Smith, you've got, you know, on and on, Banks, Jones. You've got Carlos Campbell, who can run as well as he can throw the ball. So you have a great deal of depth in that area, where if you're Lake Taylor, you've got to stop all those guys.
Yeah.
If you're Hampton, you really, a lot of times we've seen teams that have a superior running back, but if you stop him, you stop the whole team.
Yeah.
So well, it's a tough way to go.
Well, and that's one thing that when I talk to Mike, says they run and pass about the same percentage. So you can't zoom in on their quarterback, and you can't zoom in on their running back. You've got to play the whole field.
Well, Bob had a chance a little earlier to talk to head coach Hank Sawyer of the Lake Taylor Titans.
I have Coach Hank Sawyer with me, the Lake Taylor Titans head coach. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on a fine year. Getting into playoffs is always the first step to go on further. Tell me just a little bit about your team.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for congratulating me. We have a balanced team. We have a balanced attack. We like to throw the ball a little bit, and then we like to run the ball a little bit. We have some very young talented, number 12, our quarterback, James Miller. James thrown for close to 1,700 yards. And Keith Jones complements that in the running game. He's rushed for a little under 1,000 yards this year for us. We have some great receivers in Michael James and Marvin Mitchell and Marvin Rogers.
Well, and that's always good if you just have one aspect of the game, other teams can zero in on you, so it's nice to have a complement like that. What do you expect when you run into a team like Hampton? Hampton's been here many, many years.
Well, one thing you know, they're going to be ready. They're well coached. They have a great coaching staff, as we all know. You expect to have a hard-nosed ball game. It's just going to be smash mouth football because they're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. And, you know, you're just going to have your lineman's going to have to step up that night and play football.
Okay, so would you feel that then if creating or stopping the mistakes is going to be one of the keys to your ball game?
One of the keys, and just do what we do best, and that's mix it up, run a little bit, throw a little bit.
Keep them off balance.
Right, exactly.
Good enough. Well, again, congratulations and good luck to you tonight.
Okay.
Good enough. Let's go back up to Tim.
You heard Coach Sawyer talk about some of his arsenal. He's got some good-looking players here. These guys can score. They've got the ability to run the ball. They've averaged about 27 points a game on offense, giving up about 11. So they're right there with a good balance of defense and offense. But you have to, at times, you have to say, okay, now, who they beat?
Yeah. And that's another thing you have to look at. And if you look at Lake Taylor, they beat a Norcom team who lost to a team that, you know, and there's a triangle of three teams there that they beat each other. And you wonder, well, why? But again, you and I know that if you meet a good team at the beginning of the season, it's much easier to beat them than if you meet that good team at the end of the season. So that is something you've got to take in consideration. But I tell you, Mike Smith, if he can get his guys zeroed in and score quick and put the pressure on their offense to score, then, you know, I think that might put the ball in his court because Hampton can score quick. We've seen them score quick. And the last week they scored 69 points and the second clock ran the whole time and never did stop. That's a lot of points in basically 3 quarters.
And again, it's going to Lake Taylor's got a good team. And before we get to that, I do want to, you know, discuss the fact that Hampton has a great motivation to win this game. Now, both teams do. But Hampton wants real badly to have another matchup next Friday night over at Todd Stadium. And I don't care where they play that game, you know.
Oh, they want to meet the Canes.
They want to meet the Canes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think that is a tremendous motivation.
And I think that if all things were equal, not making that assumption, but if they were, that motivation may be the difference. So.
Yeah, they did not like the loss to the Hurricanes, and you know, hats off to John Quillen and his team. They did a great job, undefeated for the season, but now it's a new season, and it's a one game at a time thing. So we'll just go see, you know, put them on and hit them up, and let's see what happens.
We got a great evening. Weather's great. No rain in the forecast. We're going to now go back in time one more time and talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Mike Smith with me with the Hampton Crabbers. Mike, congratulations on a fine season. It's always good to get the season after you. Now you got a new season. Anytime you go to playoffs, it's a new season.
Well, that's true, you know, but it's a one-game season then. Yeah. It's you play from week to week. Yeah, it's always nice to be here.
Well, I know you had last week, you had some kids that were hurt, hip pointers, and some of your running backs. How is everybody today this week?
Well, we still have some people banged up. Got some running backs still banged up. One won't play at all. The other one still hobbles somewhat. I've got a defensive tackle that's still banged up. He might play some, Chris Green, but he's still hobbled. But we're probably a little healthier than we were last week.
Well, that's always good to have. What do you expect from a team like Lake Taylor?
Well, they've had a good year, you know. They've scored a lot of points and thrown the ball well. So you never really know until you get into battle exactly what's going to happen.
Well, you told me when I talked earlier this week that they about 50-50 run and pass.
That's true. They do. They throw the ball about half the time.
So you got to be prepared for that. And now I don't know how good the quarterback is, a young kid, but he's 1,700 yards. So evidently he can't put the ball up at 17 touchdowns, but he's had 9 interceptions.
Well, that's not too many though compared to the yardage he's thrown for. You know, that's not too many interceptions. But he's a good quarterback. Throws the ball well.
Well, good enough. Listen, good luck to you tonight.
Thank you, Bob.
And we'll talk to you later. All right, stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
here at Chittum Field. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz as the band from Lake Taylor is getting off the field, having performed the national anthem, and we're just about set to have the ceremony at the center of the field. Hampton will be the visitors for tonight's contest, being the lower seed, and they will be on the far side of the field. And there you see the Lake Taylor Titans. They will be in the red jerseys with the white pants, and Hampton tonight will be in the black pants with the white jerseys and red numerals. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms with 6 convenient Hampton locations, and in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. There you see the Hampton side of the field. The officials for tonight's contest, they are from the Peninsula District, and it is a crew that we're very familiar with. There you see on your right-hand side, that is referee Carter Ficklin. We might as well tell you about all of the officials while we have this moment. Chris Owens is your umpire. Chip McErlin is the linesman. Jim Mayhew, the line judge. Pete Smith is your field judge. And Gilbert Simon is the back judge. And we will have the toss of the coin.
And I believe we're going to get Carter Ficklin will open his mic up. If not, Ron Baton will pick him up. He's out there in the center.
Okay, Lake Taylor captains, James, Miller, and Weber meet the Hampton captains, Campbell, Jones, Finner, and Smith. Captains, I'm Mr. Ficklin, your referee. That's Mr. Owen. The officials are Mr. McErlin, Mr. Smith, Mr. Gilbert, Simon, and Mr. Mayhew. We're going to call Hampton white. We're going to call Lake Taylor red. If there's a penalty, whichever captain's closer come to me. Remember that some of the penalties have as many as 3 options. I'll try to give you what I think's best for your team first. But remember, I got to take the first thing you say, so if you don't understand it, ask me to repeat it, okay? All right, one thing we want to hear, guys, tonight is good, hard, clean football, okay? No talking between the teams. If it starts, we guys help us with that, okay? We appreciate it. Thank you, Captain. We've already done this, so we're going to reenact it. And we had Hampton winning, and they're going to receive where, Chris? Okay, step down here with me, Hampton, Captain. Hampton receiving. Captains, shake hands. Have a good game. Good luck to you.
We do appreciate Carter Ficklin doing that, Tim, and we will pick a player of the game from the Hampton Crabbers tonight. That player received a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Taft Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. Shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Each of these teams with an identical overall record of 9-1. Of course, Hampton lost their only game to the Canes of Heritage, 16-7, right smack dab in the middle of the season. It's been playoff time ever since that game for the Crabbers, because they knew if they lost a second game, more than likely they would be eliminated from postseason play. So they've had to treat every game, and those victories have been against a tough Warwick team, a very good Gloucester team this year.
Yeah, Gloucester did real good. It was a young man that played at Kickoff High School and at the Apprentice School. Scott Woodley, coaching up there, did a great job with him.
Then they beat Kickoff, took on Phoebus at the time, very much in contention, pretty well dominated that game, and wrapped up the regular season with a victory over Woodside last week by the score of 69-3, and got a chance to rest a lot of players in that contest.
Well, I'm sorry, Tim, but when I give the Hampton offense, this will be as close as we can get to it, because it depends on what offense they're going to come out in, what's their personnel going to be. So basically what I give you is, well, hopefully that's what's going to be on the field.
Adam Dirks, number 1, will be kicking off for Lake Taylor. Back deep to receive will be Fenner to the near side, Carlos Campbell in the middle,
and it looks like
Joe
Jones.
Smith.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. Joe Smith.
Joe Smith, number 11 on the far side. His lighting is a little weak here. It's a short kick taken by Mac Jones, and they're going to say he ruled.
No, Jimmy Williams called for a fair catch.
Oh, okay. Is it Williams? I thought it was 33. Mac Jones.
Yeah, but Williams signaled a fair catch, even though Jones caught it, so he couldn't run it.
Interesting. All right. So at the 30-yard line. That's where Hampton will have it. And please bear with us tonight as you see the Hampton offense.
There you have Ted Willett at center. The guards are Perry and Williams. The tackle, Elton Brown and Creighton Travis. Split end man. Flexback Fenner. The flanker, Jimmy Williams. Quarterback, Carlos Campbell. Fullback, Mac Jones. And a tailback, Joe Smith, number 11.
And we'll give you the Lake Taylor Titans defense from this point on. Rather than that mouthful, I just call them the Titans.
There you go.
On the first play, this is Smith, and Smith will pick up a couple of yards to about the 32-yard line. What I started to tell you was, please bear with us on 2 counts tonight. The field is not lined very well. The only point of reference we have are some yard markers along the side of the field. And the other part of this is the fact that the lighting here is rather suspect, and I'll just let it go at that.
Well, you can see on it if your screen looks anything like our monitor. But, Tim, you'll see that Lake Taylor plays a 5 front, what they call a basic 5 front, and 2 linebackers. So it's really a 5-2 with 2 corners and 2 safeties, and they'll bring the safeties up sometimes.
And Carlos Campbell keeps the ball, but apparently a loose ball on the play, and Lake Taylor may have recovered. It appears that they have at the 34-yard line. So a break early in the contest as the Crabbers lose the football.
And number 53 for the Lake Taylor Titans, Tim, is Anton Rainey, defensive tackle, came up with the loose ball.
So before we give the defense for the Titans, they have caused the turnover and have the ball at the Hampton 34-yard line. After this play, we'll give you the starting lineup for the Titans. In motion is Marvin Mitchell. Now he sets to the right side. Miller is the quarterback, and he gives to number 32, Keith Jones. And Keith Jones picks up yardage down to the Hampton 28-yard line.
Give you the Titans offense as soon as we get a chance. There you go.
All right, on offense, the center is Ruffin. The guards are Crandall and McCoy. Butts and Salter are the tackles. Tight end is Mitchell. The wideouts are Marvin Rogers and Mike James. The quarterback is James Miller. Lance Weber is the fullback. And Keith Jones, the last man to touch the ball, number 32, is the tailback for the Titans. Second down at about 4. Play action. Miller wants to pass, has some time, throws into a crowd, and the ball goes incomplete. And I got to tell you, what I just saw would indicate the lighting on the field is affecting the ability to see the ball. It's that poor of a lighting at this facility.
Here's the fumble. And you saw the ball hit the ground. Tim, the number 25, the intended receiver that time, Mitchell, looked around and says, was that for me?
Yeah. I mean, it's that dim, folks, that it's going to be hard for the receivers to pick up the ball.
Give you the Hampton defense after this play.
Third down and 4. Now there seems to be some hesitation as we might have an equipment problem, an official's timeout, chin strap problem. Here are the Crabbers on defense.
You have the guards, Williams and Brown, the tackles, Cutler and Perry, the ends, Callis and Williams, linebackers, Jones and Lee, corners, Smith and Fenner, and the safety is Carlos Campbell.
All right, let's see if the Hampton defense can tighten up here now. Third down and 4 after the turnover. On the option, Miller keeps, and he's got the first down and plenty more. He's down inside the 10. He's still on his feet. He's in the touchdown.
Nice run by the quarterback.
Miller, the quarterback, ran a 28 yards for the touchdown.
Just a junior, Tim. 6 foot 190. But he avoided a couple of tacklers. The option looked real good.
Adam Dirks on to try the extra point. Kick is to the right. It appears to be no good, and it'll remain 6-0 in favor of the Titans. But they score on the turnover. 2 plays. And here's the replay of the touchdown. Here's going to see it from the ground level. Miller should be coming right at you, and this was just a keeper all the way, and really, quite frankly, not a good job of tackling by the Crabbers there at all. And Miller really had an easy time finding the end zone.
He really did. He never got hit once.
So that play action run by Miller for 28 yards makes it 6-0 with the missed extra point. and that missed extra point could be a big factor down the road. So the Crabbers, after the turnover.
Well, you know, and I have talked in a lot of these games before, and one of the things you want to avoid is turnovers. And the second play from scrimmage, the Crabbers turned the ball over and gave the Titans great field position. 2 running plays and 1 pass play was incomplete, and they scored. How long was that drive? Where did it start at? About the 30?
They got the ball at the Hampton 34 is where I marked it again as best I could. The lighting and the field markings are suspect at best. This is Derek Fenner, and Fenner is still on his feet to the 42-yard line. So Hampton will have good field position for this possession.
Give you a chance. We'll give you the Lake Taylor defense. We didn't get a chance to do that last
there
time.
They are. All right, your nose guard is Ruffin. The tackles are Sears and Rainey. The outside linebackers are Hicks and Seymour. The inside linebackers are Mitchell and Weber. Corners are Freeman and Holloman. The free safety is Mike James, and James Miller, who is also the quarterback, plays the strong safety. So Hampton down by 6. Will start from their 42-yard line. Carlos Campbell over center. He's got Mac Jones and Joe Smith in the backfield.
We got an unbalanced line to the right.
You got a man in motion who blocked on the end to seal the end, and Smith picks up about 8 or 9 yards out close to midfield on a nice run to the left side. Joe Smith, who has just been a terror running the ball in the last 2/3 of the season, didn't start running the ball early in the season, but he has just been outstanding. Here's the replay. You're going to see the pitch. The man in motion, who is Turtle Fenner, actually sealed the left end and allowed the blocking to get Smith to the corner, and he picked up almost 9. Let's call it second down and a short 2. Again, Jones and Smith are behind Campbell. This is Smith, and he has the first down at the 48-yard line of Lake Taylor. Hampton just keeping it on the basics right there. Joe Smith getting the first down. 9:13 left here in the first quarter. 12-minute quarters in high school football. The winner of this contest will play the winner of Heritage and Norcom. Ball is marked right at the 48-yard line of the Titans. Campbell on the option, pitches to Smith, and Smith gets a yard at best. As a good job of coming up to make the stop for Lake Taylor. That was number 5, Lance Weber, who did a good job of containing Joe Smith.
Yeah, if he picked up much, Tim, it can't be more than about a yard, but it looks like less than that.
Less than that, yeah.
Talk about you see the replay. Head coach for the Titans is Hank Sawyer. He's assisted by Larry Archie, Steve Verspel, Kurt Brown, David Floyd, James Barn, Tony Church, Yale Eason, Wayne Jones, Mordecai Smith, and Joe Verdi.
So little or no gain on the play. Let's call it second down and a long 9. Double wides to the left. Campbell straight back. Has time over the middle, and man was well covered. That was Jimmy Williams on the pattern. Looks like they only really sent 2 guys to the near side and 1 to the top side.
I tell you, if you watch Carlos Campbell, when he passed that ball, he was leveled by number 56. Dwayne Ruffin got in there. Coaches for the Crabbers, Mike Smith, of course, is the head coach. Danny Mitchell, Albus Mann, Shannon Smith, Brian Gerzak, Tony Carlton, Terry Van, Donald Sullivan, Ray Barnes, and Derek Fenner Sr.
So big third down for the Crabbers, 3rd down and 9. Turtle Fenner to the near side. And in motion goes Joe Smith to the left. Campbell feels some pressure, steps up in the pocket, and then he is sacked.
I tell you, the number 53 did a great job of making him move up, but he did, and he ran right into number 56 again.
Antoine Rainey was 53, and then Dwayne Ruffin finished him off, and the Crabbers, looking at 4th down and long, will have to bring on the kicking team. Of course, Carlos Campbell is the punter. So the Crabbers, here you see the replay, and good job of coverage by Lake Taylor, creating the sack. Carlos Campbell, the wind is whipping around the stadium. I'm not sure if I can describe to you what direction is coming from, because it's constantly swirling, but the flag, if we get a shot of the end zone to our right, there you see it, the flag is just whipping around on the flagpole and making it difficult at best to throw the football.
Tim Zooms has given an award to the senior football player each one of the Hampton schools this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting that will be on November the 15th, and we want to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. And they are from Hampton, number 55, Chris Perry; Kickotan, number 10, Joseph Player; number 11 from Bethel, Joseph Lyles; and from Phoebus, number 5, Leon Mizell.
And you saw the moon in your picture there for a moment. We could hear a howling in our ears, but I hope you didn't. Pass to the near side, incomplete, almost picked off, as a matter of fact. His back defending was Stephen Lee, number 60, and had a pretty good shot at it, but the intended receiver was Mike James, number 17, and the ball was just thrown too low. Crowd, surprisingly, Bob, not a full house on either side. In fact, the Lake Taylor side is rather sparse. I would have figured they'd have a good crowd. Hampton almost full on the visitor side. Second down and 10 with 6:58. Hard to read that scoreboard too. Miller on the option, tries to cut it back in the middle, and that did not work as the Cabra defense was there. Number 66, Elton Brown, a new addition and much heralded, much written about player that is eligible for this game. First game all year that he is so.
He's 6'7", Tim, 330, but he did a great job of not going with the fake.
There you see Brown, 66, forcing it back in, and then Stephen Lee, number 60, finished him off.
Yeah, Elton really came from the opposite side. Lee's the one that cut it back in.
Third down and 10 for the Titans. 6:17 to go in the first quarter, excuse me. Pass complete.
Nice pass.
Near side, got some running room down the sideline. Joe Smith pushes the ball carrier out of bounds, but not before Marvin Mitchell picks up a huge first down for the Titans.
Well, that was a great pass because it went right by a defender. If we got that on replay or not, but I tell you, Tim, that looked like it could be picked off. It was that close to the defender.
30-yard gain on the play. Miller.
Right here, look at that.
Yep. Stephen Lee, linebacker, back on defense, and that's tough coverage. So the Titans with a fresh set of downs at the 47-yard line of Lake Taylor. And this is the premier running back for them. That's Keith Jones, number 32.
Number 65.
Jones on the season, 58 rushes, 438 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 25.
Are they okay? They're okay. Second.
You could possibly hear Carter Ficklin, the referee.
Pick up. Yeah, look, yeah, every now and then, I don't know if he's left his mic on or not, but that's kind of neat. But he just letting know his second down and what? 6?
Well, the ball's right at the midfield line, so I would say it's a short 6. Should be a long 6, short 7.
Whatever.
This time to the near side, and Jones is tackled on the play by Nolan Cutler.
Nolan Cutler did a great job that time of avoiding the tackle.
So a short gain, ball just across the midfield stripe.
Well, they're going to have to get some pressure on the quarterback. Number 5 comes out holding his arm. It's Lance Rebber, Tim. Lance plays...
he's, I think, two-way player, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays fullback, number 5. Come out holding his arm. They got a one-back set. They got 2 wides to their top of the screen.
Third down and about 7. Miller throws and got a man wide open again. He's got the first down at the 40-yard line.
He was wide open.
That would be number 7, Mike James. So Miller, who has some great numbers on the season, is showing why he had done so well, and I've got those numbers here. I'm going to find them in a minute. I got more papers here than I know what to do with, Bob. Let's see, Mr. Miller. Bob Killen gave me a bunch of stuff.
There was nobody in the backfield because the fullback went out on a curl route, and the 17 was wide open.
About 1,700 yards on the season for Miller passing. Gain of about 3 on that play. Brings up second down and a long 6 for the Titans, who lead 6-0 here as we have 3:45 remaining in the first quarter. Hampton, if you joined us late, fumbled the football, and the Titans were able to take advantage of it with a 28-yard touchdown by the quarterback, Miller. Miller again has plenty of time, rolling, looking. Now his time. Oh, he got away from a would-be tackler, broke another tackle, and he is tough to bring down as he goes down the right sideline. We'll
How
see
did
where
he
they
get through those 2 tacklers? He just went underneath them, Tim.
He is out of bounds at the 30-yard line, which is right at the first down marker, depending on where the ball is spotted. It looks like he'll just be short by half a yard. And again, our vantage point here and with the lighting is most difficult to tell exactly, but they have marked it 3rd and 1.
Well, I know watch the replay. I know the coaching staff's got to be upset because they have right here, they should have had him sacked.
And they look like 2 guys had him right there. Then it looks like he was caught there and still got away. Speaker here at Chittum Field not giving us the best opportunity to see that as Miller keeps on what easily is the first down. Miller picked up almost 5 yards.
Well, I'm impressed with him. He's a strong runner and a pretty accurate passer.
Oh, he's a very accurate passer. He's been on the money, and more importantly, he's had wide open receivers. So
well,
Miller,
that'll make you good, won't it?
2 for 4 and a total of 40 yards so far.
Well, that's 20 yards of receptions. Ain't bad, is it?
Not too shabby. 26-yard line, first down for the Titans. Little less than 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Miller back to pass. Jimmy Williams had the beat on him. Pass is completed at a shoot-top catch by 25 Marvin Mitchell, who's already shown he's a good receiver, and comes up with a nice catch on that play. Didn't get much. They'll end up with only about a yard.
Why is because the ball was almost knocked down by one of the defensive linemen, went up high.
That was Jimmy Williams who was rushing in and put his hands up and caused Miller to throw it a little sooner than he might have wanted to, I think.
That was number 75 was the one almost got his hands on it, Tim.
Okay, I saw 5. I didn't pick up 7.
Travis Creighton.
Gained only a yard, second down and 9. Miller, again, has plenty of time. Got a man wide open again, but at this time to the good of the Hampton Crabbers, the guy just dropped the ball. That was right in his hands.
And number 5, Jimmy Williams, back there defending on a position, Tim. What the receivers are doing, they're going down deep and then they're curling back to the ball, and they're getting separation from the defensive back.
Got a penalty flag, I believe.
Second, replay 2nd and 21 if you take them back. Okay, we're going to go 10 from here. We were incomplete. We were incomplete.
So you can hear Carter Ficklin telling you there is a penalty.
Well, he just turned it off.
Okay, second down, replay.
So he's got it backwards now.
But that's okay, Carter.
On when it's off and off when it's on. But we could hear that was the penalty against the Titans. First thing they've really done poorly here in this first quarter.
Got 3 men on this side.
And again, Miller has plenty of time, but now it breaks down, and they do finally sack him back at the 45-yard line.
And that's what's that, number 32 it looked like, Tim, Lawrence Callis.
Yep, that's who it was. So now the Titans headed in the wrong direction with 1:40 remaining in the first quarter, all the way back to the 45-yard line. They need to get down to the 15 for the first down. So
I don't know how you can see that.
Well, it ain't easy. But they're just shy of the 45. Need to get to the 15. It's 3rd down and 31. Crabber defense trying to do the job here. Miller has time again, throws over the middle. He's got it completed. And Carlos Campbell will drag him down short of the first down by about 5 yards. He is at the 23-yard line.
Well, I don't know what kind of field goal kicker they've got, Tim. They missed extra point. but this is a 4th down, so if I'm sure if they're not going to kick it, they're going to
Marvin Mitchell, the man who caught the ball, comes off limping now. This could be a big factor down the road. That is him catching the ball. Campbell rode him down, and Mitchell hobbles off the field. And that could be a big loss for them because he's been a terror right now on offense. They are not going to go for a field goal. It's 4th down and about 7. Miller's got trips to the near side. He's rolling to the near side. Steps up, throws. Man got it wide open. Did he hold on to it? Yes, what a nice catch. Outstanding catch by number 2, Marvin Rogers. And that will be, I believe, a 1st down. They had, what was that, 2nd and 30 or? 3rd and 31.
3rd and 31.
Picked up about 25 and then got the rest of it on 4th down. You see Miller, and he just threw it over the middle. What a nice catch and a great job by Marvin Rogers of hanging on to that football. He got stuck right when the ball got there, and he picked up the 1st down. Miller again, I'd keep throwing the ball too. Incomplete as kind of a mix-up there. Looked like one of the receivers out on the pattern was Mike Myers, number 33, and the ball was shown well short of him.
Well, I think he was supposed to break it in, and he was breaking it out. That might just be a communication problem there. Tim, want to talk about our crew. We have our cable technicians. Asa Carroll's here, and I don't know if Era Towns is here or not, but Asia's here. I don't know if Ron.
If you say so.
Oh, Arizona college trip. That's why she's not here. Bev Penn doing replay. We'll watch it. Get the rest of these in a minute. Bev is absent.
Swing pass near side, and they do rule it to be a pass, very close to being a lateral.
Well, Scotty, evidently you're doing the.
Is he jumping back and forth over this?
He's going back and forth over there again. Okay. We got Susan Bowers, Nathaniel Braxton, and Ron Baton on the cameras. Don Scharouse is the engineer. The graphics and audio, Andy Foley and Scotty is doing slow motion and directing, doing everything.
And here's your replay of the incomplete pass.
Tim, that was a lateral. You look from where he threw that ball and where the ball hit.
Well, it did look like one. Or a backward pass, I think they call it. I don't know if they call it a lateral anymore or not, but in any event, it's 3rd and 10 at the 14. Hampton defense trying to hold in here. Miller again has plenty of time. Over the middle, got a man wide open. Touchdown. And that is Keith Jones, number 32. I had to wait and see if I could pick up the number. But he was coming out of the backfield and caught the pass. And the Crabbers are down by 2 touchdowns. Now they'll go for 2. Apparently they are lacking the kicking game, and now the Crabbers
have to call timeout. They
couldn't get enough players on the field.
Well, they didn't have the regular defense on the field. Crabber's going to have to do one of 2 things. First of all, they're going to have to put more pressure on the quarterback.
Here's the replay of the touchdown. He just had a man, Jones, wide open, and Jones right into the end zone.
And they're going to have to put a man on, hit somebody coming off the line of scrimmage to take him off those routes so that he's not wide open. Well, but Crabbers will make adjustments. They always do.
Need to get more pressure on Miller.
Yeah,
he's got way too much time back there. But give credit to Lake Taylor. They've come out and they're playing with fire, and they have taken it to the Crabbers. Hampton turning the ball over on their first possession, and that one resulted in a drive capped by a 28-yard run by Miller for the touchdown. Now Miller throws for another one. Miller threw for 7 touchdowns rather, during the regular season. I get it right, yeah, it's 17, but I was right the first time. I got more stats here than I know what to do with them. But I can't find them all.
Well, that's part of the problem. You got too many.
Too many. Now we're set as the Crabbers do have the regular defense on the field. And the Titans with a 12-0 lead, trying to make it 14. Miller rolling, looking, young man who was in motion releases. He's open now. Now Miller is going to have some running room as he picks up some good blocks. Now he'll throw back, I guess, in the end zone and is picked off by Hampton. So the 2-point conversion will be no good. Looked like Carlos, who was it, came up for Hampton. I couldn't pick up the number, Bob, but
I couldn't either, Tim.
So far away, he's so dark over there. But anyway, the Crabbers are able to prevent the 2-point conversion, find themselves trailing 12-0 with 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter in what has to be a shocker to find the Crabbers really looking rather average right now, and their defense, well, their defense is really having a tough time with this passing attack. Here's the replay, and Miller almost got away from this. He had a broken tackle there, and then just always a tough pass back against.
That was Fenner.
Fenner. Okay, I thought it was 7, but I see it was 2. So Derek Fenner busts up the 2-point conversion with the pick in the end zone, and of course that doesn't count for anything except you don't allow the 2 points. So we've got 20 ticks of the clock. And the Crabbers will be back deep. They'll have Campbell, Fenner, and Smith once again back deep. This time Adam Dirks will kick off from the near side. And he's kicked relatively short on the previous 2 kicks, and this one will be the same.
This is Joe Smith.
At the 20. And Smith, he's got some running room. He's got one man to beat.
And he ain't going to touch him.
And they're not going to get him as Joe Smith will return the kickoff for a touchdown.
And Tim, that was from about the 25 or in that area. One of the faster men on this Hampton Crabber team, Joe Smith, found the seam, busted it through, and just accelerated.
Going to 46-yard line is where it was?
26.
So 74 yards. Now that might have been the spark the Crabbers needed. And now we've got an officials timeout. And now they're set. All right, here is the run. We'll show you the extra point. Well, there we go. The extra point try is up, and it is good. So that could be a crucial extra point coming down the road here. The difference is 5. Let's watch the return of the kickoff. Joe Smith, you'll be on the far right-hand side of your picture. We've already seen that Dirks does not have a good leg.
Right here, just found just a spot there, Tim.
And Smith with his speed, Dirks had no chance to catch him. Only man who might have had a shot was 33 coming down on the near side, Mike Myers, but he too didn't have a chance.
Well, Derek Fenner says, I'll escort you in.
So the Crabbers get some excitement going here with a 74-yard kickoff return to cut the margin now to 5.
We're missing a fan over on the other side tonight. Brent Musgrove is not there. He's in Centera Lee over in Hampton. Just had a hip replacement and should be home this weekend. And we hear he's doing real well, and we just hope him the best and the quickest recovery so we can get back out there and play a little golf with him.
Whitehead's kick is a deep kick into the end zone, and those of you who aren't familiar with it, that is an automatic touchback. You cannot return a ball in high school that's kicked into the end zone.
Well, nothing will fire your defense up any quicker than getting a quick score like that. But that defense has been on the field quite a bit, Tim, and they have been chasing this young man around, James Miller. So
there's 2 things about that, of course, that are quite obvious. This is postseason, so if they're not in shape by now, they never will be. Secondly, it's a cool evening, so you know they're not going to be sweating too much, so that'll help them out. But you're right. They need to get the defense off the field and get the offense back on the field to do some offensive drives of their own here. But they have gotten back in the game with that outstanding return by Joe Smith, and it's 12-7. Now Miller at quarterback, who's been good to say the least here in the first quarter. Short drop back, feels some pressure, now scrambles a little bit, steps up, finds a man, and throws, is picked off. Carlos Campbell has the pick, and he may go all the way. Touchdown.
Wow, 2 My goodness.
The last play of the first quarter gives Hampton the lead for the first time in the ball game.
You talk about Tim, that's 2 touchdowns in what, less than 20 seconds?
Less than 20 seconds. And that'll shake a team as much as it's good to put the points on the board. This can unsettle a team like Lake Taylor with a second-year coach. Here's the pick. Miller, who's just been outstanding so far in this first quarter, threw the ball and it was tipped, and Carlos Campbell caught it in stride. You see him there, far sideline, had a shot at him, but they couldn't get him before he was in, and the extra point is up and good. And now the Crabbers take the lead, 14-12. I'll try and get the total yardage return on the interception.
Tim, that had to be from about the 25-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. If we see a replay again, we may be able to pick up the yardage. What's Bob got?
Bob said it's 28.
Well, I was close.
About right. That came with no time left on the first quarter clock. Here's the replay. See if we can find the spot where he did pick it. And again, the field is not marked, so good luck.
5, 10.
Not the 28.
15, 20, 25, 30. That was about a 33-yarder.
All right.
Anywhere I counted to 5 yards. A little more. I can see him.
What a turnaround here for the Crabbers. Seemingly unfocused, watching Miller eat them up, going down the field, just completing passes to wide open receivers.
Special teams on one and defense on the other.
And now we'll see if the momentum can be sustained, because quite frankly, Miller has done a good job of directing the offense. Let's see if they can get it back. And of course, that wind is holding up the kick. That's got a lot to do with the shortness of those kicks. And now the Titans trying to return the favor, get the ball out to about the 29-yard line, where they'll have it first down by 2 points after leading 12-0. But 2 consecutive explosions by the Crabbers, a 74-yard touchdown return on the kickoff, and then Carlos Campbell with the interception return for the second Hampton score. There you saw the return. That was number 20, Daniels Adrian, returning the ball for the Titans, out very close to the 30-yard line. In fact, they do, in fact, now mark it on the 30. In motion is Mike James, number 17. The pitch to Keith Jones, and Jones is caught in the backfield and dropped for a loss by
32. That's Callis.
That's Callis again. Lawrence Callis with the big stick. And you see that so often. The special teams come up big. The offense gets on the field, and now they're struggling a little bit. They've got the pick and a sack for a loss. Second down and 11 for the Titans. Second quarter just underway, 11:22 remaining in the first half. Hampton 14, Lake Taylor 12, coming to you from Norview High School. Pass near side and nothing, and the pass completed to Mike James, and he may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line, so give him a yard on the play.
Guess who was there again?
Yeah, Lawrence Callis.
Good guess.
Yep. And look at that, you can see the flag. We can't show you in the picture because we don't have a shot of it, but to our right, to our left here, there's a flag person. There's Old Glory, and that's pretty indicative of what it is. Flag
right behind you, Ron Baton. If you can turn around behind you, you'll see that flag we're talking about.
But the wind is blowing fiercely across the field and causing problems for the quarterback. Miller back to pass, 3rd and 10. Throws, got a man open, and completes it for the first down at the 42-yard line. So Miller comes up big and keeps the drive alive for the Titans.
And again, he's not getting pressure. And if you got a time to sit back there, and that man ran about a 15-yard route that time.
What's happening, Mom? That was Mike Myers on the receiving end of Miller's toss. So a first down at the Lake Taylor 42-yard line. Trips to the near side. Miller on the draw play. And he's got Jones, and Jones has running room across midfield. He's still on his feet. Broke a tackle to the 47-yard line.
And Carlos Campbell had to come from his safety spot to make that tackle that time.
Keith Jones, he's a big one at 5'11", 205, and get this, Bob, he's just a sophomore, and he appears to be shaken up on the play. That is Jones in the middle of your picture. So that would be a huge loss. I've seen where number 25, Marvin Mitchell, who limped off earlier, is back and playing all right, and Jones now shaken up after that last tackle, but not before the Titans get another first down at the Hampton 42-yard line. To the near side comes Mike James, number 17, double wide receivers to the left, and then we've got, did we have a illegal procedure or did Hampton jump? That will be the call here.
Well, it looked like a lineman raised up for the, yeah, that's what he's calling for the Titans.
So Lake Taylor will be backed up 5 yards.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, still first down.
So referee Ficklin informs us of the call. It's first down and 15 now for the Titans. 9:15 left in the first half. Hampton 14, Lake Taylor 12.
Well, they do a lot with only one offensive back in the backfield.
Miller again, got time, he's got a man wide open, touchdown Lake Taylor, but a flag down, 2 flags down now, but a flag down at the line of scrimmage, but that will be a crucial call.
And that's usually holding, Tim, and that's the call. That's the call, but there was a mix-up in defensive coverage. Nobody went deep for the Crabbers.
Well, the Crabbers get a huge break here because Marvin Rogers was wide open and ran in for the score.
He ran, that was a great pass.
On this play, we have a hold against the offense. Also, after the apparent touchdown was scored, there's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against the offense. Both penalties will be enforced.
Whoa, 25 yards.
Huge penalty. My gracious. If you're Lake Taylor, you just went from leading the game. Watch the replay here. I can't tell you where the holding was because it was in the pack. But there you see it. Somebody just lost Marvin Rogers. But it was all for naught because they were going to be penalized for holding, and then there was an unsportsmanlike on top of that. And that will undoubtedly make the Lake Taylor fans very unhappy. Titans. So the 25-yard penalty and, in essence, a 65-yard penalty on the touchdown callback. Wow, what a huge turnaround that is. It was a 10-yard holding, 15-yard unsportsmanlike. Yeah.
But the unsportsmanlike was a dead ball, so that's why they did both penalties.
Right. All the way back to the Titan 22-yard line. How big is that? Miller again wants to throw. He's got the same young man out there. There was some incidental contact. The Lake Taylor fans would like to see the yellow hanky on that one, but none forthcoming. And the ball goes incomplete, stopping the clock with 8:41 left in the first half. This game videotaped on the 10th of November, the year 2000. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen, along with the Channel 46 crew, as you watch the replay of that last play. And a little bit of bumping there as Smith was defending on the play for Rogers. But again, not enough to get a call, and that was a good no call from our vantage point. And I got to tell you, I can barely see it.
And you can barely see, right?
I can see. Eagle eye can always see. They've got a second down and 42. Miller steps up over the middle, got a man wide open at the 37-yard line.
You give them that, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's fourth down.
Breon Freeman was the receiver on the play. Mark it at the 37-yard line, but they need to get all the way to the Hampton 37-yard line.
So that was third down.
That was third down, yeah. Now it's third down and 27. At the 36-yard line is where they've marked it. And again, I never liked the prevent defense, but this is where you do that. You give them 10 yards. That's not going to hurt you. Just make sure you tackle. And this one is almost picked off by Smith. Joe Smith had a shot at it and couldn't bring it in.
And I think Jimmy Williams thought he had a shot at it too.
So incomplete pass will bring on the kicking team. First time we'll see the punter, who also is the kickoff man, Adam Dirks. 9 of 17, 112 yards in the contest for Miller. And he has cooled off considerably as you watch the replay of that last incomplete pass. So Dirks now will be kicking with the wind. And he gets it away. No Crabbers really near the ball. They're going to just let it roll and be downed by the Titans. That'll happen at about the 32 or 33 yard line of Hampton. So they'll have the ball with the offense now, and the first time the offense will have the lead in the game. Both scores by the Crabbers, if you joined us late, have come by special teams. One on a kickoff return and the other on the defense.
Yeah, the second one wasn't special teams.
I don't mean special teams, but not the offense is what I meant.
Okay.
And you still have,
can buy that.
You only have one flag left now.
Did I call a flag?
No touching. First down for White.
There's no touching allowed. I heard that.
First and 10.
No touching allowed in football.
No touching?
That's what I heard him say.
No, he thought it was a touching of the ball. And
yeah, no, there was actually what happened was I think one of the Crabbers was pushed into the ball, and we've seen that before. That's right. Can't do that. Campbell still has the football on the quarterback keeper, and he'll be out across the 40 with a pickup of about 8 yards.
Tim, if you look at the line of scrimmage on defense, it looks like they got 7 or 8 men right up there close inside the tackle.
Second about two.
They marked the ball at the 41-yard line. They got Carter doing play-by-play.
Well, that's okay. You can't see. He knows you can't see. Second and about 2, he's helping you out.
And we appreciate it.
All the help we can get.
Here's the replay of Jones on the quarterback keeper. Just one man got him by the ankle. Carlos Campbell. This is Jones. I had a premonition. Big Mac Jones. The Mack Truck Jones gets the first down out to the 44-yard line, I think. Yeah, there's where it is. I'm really not trying to be critical, but after playing the games as we have all season at Darling Stadium, this is just a slight step backwards.
That's Hampton's second first down.
That's just the Hampton Crabbers' second first down of the ball game. So that should tell you how well the Titans have done in this contest.
I think somebody opened a
if
window.
we get them to close the window there, we'll appreciate it.
It looks like Mack again. It is Mac Jones again.
Out to about the 49-yard line. That'll bring up second down and about 4.
So right behind the big guys.
Give the ball again to Big Mac and let him just rumble up the middle. He'll be very close to the first down, depending on the spot.
Well, looked like he's going behind Stephen Williams, number 70. I can't see the other. We're going to have a time. He's going to look like he's going to measure.
And I'm not even going to venture. Thank you very much. Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, wow. Sounds good to me.
Racist.
Just don't tell Killen.
We got to get that lady's name. Look, Killen just left.
Wait a minute. What is this?
I think we're going to see a first down here, and we got the first down by the length of the ball. So the Crabbers being conservative in their offensive attack. He really did find a piece of pizza. Gotcha. We got 5:38 remaining here in the first half.
Tell him just to pass a piece down this way.
Going deep for the pass. Is that what you're saying, Bob?
Yeah.
My gracious. And I'll just keep this in front of me here.
There you go.
All right. Thank you very much. These fine folks here taking good care of us. Thank you. And we've got people in the neutral zone. Now the big question will be, did they jump off or were they pulled off?
Hampton usually pulls them off. We'll see what happens.
Right as snap, there was encroachment, the defense, still first down.
All right, so now they move the ball, and it's 1st and 5, so it's very nice when you can pick up 5 yards without having to run a play. 5:05 left here in the first half.
When you get ready to take a bite, I'll talk.
I'm going to be fine. I'm going to. Oh yes, that's right. Sorry about that, Scotty.
We got thinking about our pizza.
Carlos Campbell carries for about a yard, maybe 2. We're going to return to Chittum Field here in Norfolk for the return, or the conclusion rather, after this timeout. A plug.
Well, we're back.
Well, we are. Mrs. Bechtel, I understand, is the wonderful lady who's brought us some soft drinks and pizza here. We appreciate that. That is a lateral to Joe Smith, and Smith is stopped short of the first down and still trying to get it, but looks like he'll come up a little short. Need to get to the 37-yard line. They're about the 38. So it brings up 3rd down for the Crabbers. 3rd down and a long yard. Hampton 14 and Lake Taylor 12. Approach the 3.5-minute mark here in the first half. Turtle Fenner, the only wide out to the near side. They'll keep it on the ground, and Big Mac Jones still on his feet all the way down to the 25-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Crabbers.
You talked about their fullback as a sophomore. We remember when Mac Jones was a sophomore and how well he ran the ball, Tim, and there's a glimpse of it. They haven't used him much because they have so many good tailbacks, but
there you see Big Mac just rumbling for the first down, and now a timeout has been called by the Titans of Lake Taylor. Give us a chance to remind you about Zooms. You're talking about pizza and soft drinks. Well, if you're hungry, whether it's before, during, or after the game, Zooms is the place to go. They've got those potato wedges, the fried chicken, they got pizza, they got Krispy Kreme donuts.
I just want to ask you something. You know, that Zoom's up there next to where you live.
Uh-huh.
Well, they were telling me that you haven't been stopping by so much that they even are calling you and asking you if they could deliver. They really must miss you up there.
Well, they laid off a couple of people. No, they didn't.
You got to do more for the economy, Tim.
Bob tried to get my pizza.
I noticed. You could tackle him.
He tried to get my piece of pizza, but
you're quick.
You got to get up real early in the morning.
If you're going to get food away from Tim, especially a free piece of pizza, you're going to have to get up real early.
Amen. All right, first down as the timeout is over with. Talking about the coaches you were talking earlier, this Hank Sawyer's done a great job here at Lake Taylor. He's 14-6 in 2 seasons, but 9 of those 14 victories came this year. And now Campbell will call a timeout because he saw something that he didn't like.
Well,
let me just finish my thought about coaches.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, in his 30th year, 318 victories, just 44 defeats, and 2 ties over that 30-year span. What an outstanding record.
Unbelievable. And it's going to be a long, long time for that record is ever compromised. Hampton may have been trying to draw him offside, Tim. I don't know if that wasn't what they're doing. Is it still first down, right? And the ball is on the what is that? 20?
It's on the 25.
25. Okay.
Give or take. You look into the Hampton huddle on the far sideline.
Big 66. That's the Elton Brown young man that is playing in his first game with the Crabbers. And he does not want this to be his only game, so they're very intent on taking this down, perhaps scoring and not leaving any time on the clock.
3:15 is the time remaining in the first half. I believe each team has called 1 timeout to my recollection. From the 25-yard line, Campbell, who has not passed much, will do so on this play Throwing for the corner of the end zone, cannot get it there, is Daryl Turtle Fenner.
No. That's Alexander Mann. I believe it's number 22.
Is it 22?
Tim. Yeah.
44 is Fenner. 22 is Mann. Excuse me. I apologize. You're absolutely right. Alexander Mann. Keep me straight, Bob.
I will do what I can.
Double twos, double fours. I just confused. And that was Mann. You're absolutely right. Good coverage on the play. Number 20.
But the ball was thrown where he's either going to be caught for a touchdown or a gain, but the defensive man wasn't going to get it. So it was a well-thrown ball. Now we got Alexander Mann wide to this side, to the bottom of your screen.
That was Daniels who defended on the play. Good job. 2nd and 10. On the draw play, Smith. And Smith will spin away from one tackler and pick up a couple of yards.
Number 17 and number 4 were not fooled by the draw play. That's Chris Hicks, number 4, and Michael James, number 17. They stayed at home and did what they were supposed to do.
Gain of about 3 on the play. 3rd down and 7 for the Crabbers. Clock moving with 2:41 remaining. Get so used at home watching the college and pros of seeing the time up in the corner. I feel like I should give them the time on every play. Campbell looks over the defense. Sets the backfield. Campbell is crushed before he can even consider an option play. In on the tackle.
Number 56 was there before he took one step and was hit.
That was Dwayne Ruffin, who just broke up that whole play, never gave Campbell or the Crabbers a chance to get the play off. Watch this. You're just going to see no one touched him, and someone must have blown a blocking assignment to let Ruffin be in that quickly. So now the Crabbers look at 4th and 8 after the 1-yard loss by Campbell on the play. They will not be trying a long field goal. Jimmy Williams will set up to the near side along with Derek Fenner. Crabbers also have Mann split wide to the right with Jones and Smith in the backfield. 4th down and 8. On the play action, and Campbell is sacked for a loss. The ball will go over on downs.
Number 56 was there again.
My gracious, Ruffin just chewing up the offensive line there.
Well, Ruffin is I believe he plays one of the linebackers.
He was in again, and Campbell again had no chance, and the Titans.
No, he plays nose guard, Tim.
Titans defense does the job. They get the ball back at the Hampton 30. Excuse me, at their 30, I should say. The Crabbers had got a nice drive going. Looked like they might be able to, as you said, Bob, drive to the end zone, use up some time, but the defense for Lake Taylor came up big.
Well, nobody blocked the nose guard 2 times, and you can't let that happen.
So Miller now will go to work with 1.5 minutes to go. He's got all day throwing, got a man open, and he's got it at the 45-yard line.
2 defenders around him, but he still come up with the reception. That's number 17, James.
Mike James.
Michael James.
He was just wide open. He's 6'2", 200 senior. Mark it at the Hampton 44-yard line. Clock stops with the completed pass in the 1st down. 31 yards on that pass completion. Miller again back to pass. Has time. Got a man wide open over the middle at the 40-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 4. Ball came loose, but they're going to rule the player was down. No fumble. Campbell came up with the loose ball. But the officials right there to quickly say the whistle had blown.
Defending on the play was Lawrence Callis, and I believe the other one was Jimmy Williams. We got timeout.
Lake Taylor calls the timeout. Watch the replay.
Timeout to Lake Taylor. Each team has 1 timeout remaining in the 1st half.
Thank you, sir. 1 timeout for each team remaining. Ball marked squarely at the 40-yard line of Hampton. Let's set it for you now. It's 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard pass completion. 14-12 is our score, and we have 58 seconds left in the 1st half as you look at some of the fans in the stands now across the field to the Hampton huddle. But, Hampton's leading this game, Bob, but the offense has not been able to really do a whole lot here in the 1st half for the Crabbers.
Well, that last possession that they had that looked the best that they have, and they basically ran the ball with Big Mac Jones and picked up and chewed up some yardage and took some time off the clock, but 2 plays by the nose guard, Dwayne Ruffin, number 56, Tim, senior, 6'2", 235, just untouched twice.
All right, the Titans put trips to the near side. 1 man in the backfield. Miller has time, throws, and it is tipped. Incomplete. Jimmy Williams defending on the play, number 5.
And look like Nolan Cutler is hurt in the backfield for the Crabbers.
Intended receiver was Breon Freeman, number 7. And here is your replay. And that is for the Crabbers, that is Nolan Cutler. You said getting up slowly. He's limping off the field and will come out for at least 1 play. He's a little slow to get off the field. Now he's going to gingerly remove himself. 3rd down now for the Titans. 3rd down and about 5, almost 6. Hampton's defense trying to slow down this Miller quarterback. He's got time. He throws. It's up for grabs, and it's picked off. And Joe Smith still on his feet. Looking, so he's got some speed. He's into the middle of the field. He cuts back to the right, and he's tripped up at the 44-yard line, but it'll be Hampton football.
I tell you, Joe Smith went up high to get that ball, because had he not gotten it, the defender looked like the offensive man looked like he might have been behind him. Great job and been able to keep his balance, Tim, when he looked like he was going down, and he kept his balance.
Here's the replay of the interception. That ball just thrown for grabs. Miller again with plenty of time. Smith just out-leaped the intended receiver.
Right there, good job.
Unbelievable balance. And Smith looking for some blocking. Couldn't find the ultimate run back after already returning a kickoff for a touchdown. This time it's all the way back to the 44-yard line of Lake Taylor. Hampton with 1 timeout remaining. 32 seconds on the draw play. This is Smith, and he'll get to about the 42-yard line. A pickup of a couple. And now Hampton will call their final timeout with 22 ticks of the clock remaining in the first half. Been an entertaining first half, to say the least.
Entertaining, you're right.
Miller's been just doing an outstanding job leading this Lake Taylor offense, and I feel very confident that the Hampton coaching staff will go in at halftime and do, as you've said so often they do, make the adjustments that they need to make. But you know something?
22 seconds, right?
We had a big break. We Hampton.
Well, we saw 2 touchdowns scored in this length of time at the end of the first quarter.
We did, but I lost my train of thought here. It was probably not important anyway.
Well,
I heard someone say 22
you know why
seconds.
you keep looking at that piece of pizza,
Nah.
and then looking over there, killing, make sure he's not coming over to get it.
They'd be calling him one arm here if he reaches over here one more time. But these adjustments that need to be made, and again, the Hampton Crabbers are going to have to look at that at halftime, because they certainly have allowed more passing yardage than any game I recall recently. And more importantly, Miller's had time to throw.
Well, and when he hasn't had, he's been hard to bring down.
Yep. Campbell wants to throw, and he will throw it up for grabs too, as Jimmy Williams was the intended receiver. And on the defense was Justin Freeman.
Well, Jimmy had to make an adjustment. He was going for the corner of the end zone and looking for the ball there, and the ball was inside, and really did a great job of even getting a chance to catch the ball.
This wind is swirling. I mean, I keep looking down the end to my right here where the flag is, and it's just whipping all over different directions.
But we're sitting here pretty comfortable until somebody opens the door up behind us, and then we almost go out the front window.
Killen jokingly said the temperature was supposed to go down to about 30 at halftime, and I think he's close. Campbell wants to throw, and it is picked off. If they rule him as catching the ball, I haven't seen any. No, they say no. Now the official comes in, and that was why I was hesitating to make it official. The official on the far side of the field was slow to indicate that it was an incomplete pass. So the officials huddling now. They're going to talk about this and see if perhaps
Well, they're going to overrule him.
Yeah, let's see if another official had a better angle. And this is a good job of the officials working together. They're going to ask the official who ruled it incomplete, watch the replay and see if you can determine. Might be difficult to see, but
The pass has been intercepted by Lake Taylor, first down.
all right, so they do overrule the official, and if you look at the play, the official who called it incomplete was blocked by the body of the defender laying on the ground. So a good job of officiating to get the call right. It's not the first call that counts, it's the correct call.
That's the correct call.
All right, that leaves us with 8 seconds left in the half. I would think, and I always worry about when I say these things, but I think if I'm Coach Sawyer, I might just take a knee and get this one into the locker room. But
Donna tells me every time you start to say "I think," she thinks it's danger.
and she says, "Well, when did that happen?" Trips to the near side, and now they just get one defender on it, so they'll go with the running play to Jones, Keith Jones, and he will run out the time that is remaining in the first half with that run. And we have played 24 minutes, and it's been a most entertaining and somewhat surprising first half.
Well, all the scores coming in the first quarter.
Yes, so our score at halftime is Hampton 14 and Lake Taylor 12. We'll return to Chittum Field for the second half of action after a brief timeout. Back here at Chittum Field at Norview High School, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. Game videotaped on the 10th of November, the year 2000. This is the Eastern Regional Semifinals Division 5. At halftime, Hampton 14 and Lake Taylor 12. For the Titans of Lake Taylor, statistically in the first half, they rushed the ball 12 times for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. Keith Jones carried the ball. He was the leading rusher, 5 carries for 34 yards. And in the passing department, James Miller, outstanding early in the first half, and then faltered a bit toward the end. But he was 11 of 21 with 2 interceptions. One of those returned for the touchdown by Carlos Campbell of 28 yards. And Miller also threw for a touchdown. And they totaled, Lake Taylor did 147 yards passing in the first half. Marvin Mitchell, the leading receiver, 4 catches for 59 yards. They had 10 first downs. They did not fumble the ball. And they had a total of 206 yards in the first half. They did draw 5 penalties for a total of 45 yards.
And 25 of those yards penalties came on one call.
And that call negated a touchdown that would have given Lake Taylor the lead at this point. Now for the Crabbers, they rushed the ball 16 times for just 43 yards. Again, you factor in the sacks that were involved, and Carlos Campbell was sacked a couple of times. Mac Jones was the leading rusher, 3 carries for 22 yards. And Campbell unable to complete either one of his 2 passes in the first half. In fact, he did have a pick on the next to last play before halftime, if you recall. So the Crabbers' total offense, 43 yards in the first half, just unheard of in years past. Just 4 first downs. The Crabbers fumbled it once. They did lose that fumble. And they were not penalized in the first half. But the big plays, of course, were the 74-yard touchdown on the kickoff return by Joe Smith. And then on the very next play after the ensuing kickoff, Carlos Campbell picked off the pass and ran 28 yards for the touchdown. Both extra points were good, and that's where the 14 points came from that Hampton has scored in the first half. If you joined us late and didn't know all the stats, it would be a little bit surprising.
I'm very surprised at what I'm seeing out there on the field. Hampton has to kick the second half, but they're kicking into the wind. Rather than take the wind, they're going to have the wind at the back the fourth quarter. Little strategy there, perhaps.
I said, but if you want to kick with the wind back in fourth quarter, kick off that way. I'll probably get my ass eat out of it. He said, that's official.
May want to close that, Mike. All right, so the officials are set to go. Both teams are back on the field. There you see the Crabbers. And again, you know, so many times over the years, and Bob and I are very happy to mention the fact that this is our 20th year. There we are. Stand up, Bob.
Stand up.
Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. But having been doing this since 1980, we have seen a lot of games over the years and seen a lot of different things and seen as many strange outcomes to a game as you can. I can't recall, however, Hampton being this, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, that's the word I had in my mind. I was
well, they are. They're anemic on offense, and that's very unusual for the Crabbers.
Usually they're the team that will have the edge in offense in a contest at this stage in the season. Having said that, Hampton has so many times found a way to win when facing even a superior team or being down and, you know, being in a situation where they could very easily lose the game. But Hampton, you know, when it comes down to crunch time, we've seen it happen often, and we'll see if it happens tonight as the second half kickoff is taken at the 15-yard line. Right up the middle and out close to the 35-yard line is the return for Lake Taylor. That was number 17 for the Titans. Mike James returning the kickoff.
Number 99, Corey Lee, one of the seniors of this Hampton squad that is on the special teams, making the tackle.
Bob, before I forget, and I absolutely refuse to forget, Deb Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Is the young woman who
athletic director
has the AD here at Norview, and she has just done everything possible to accommodate the group here tonight, and then even with the effort by Miss Bechtel, who is standing behind you, Bob. She brought us soft drinks and pizza, and I understand Deb Rock was behind that as well. So it's really nice to work with really nice people, and we certainly do appreciate it, not just because they brought us pizza.
No, Scotty told me before the game, he says, make sure you mention Deb Rock, because she just went out of her way to make us feel at home and give us a chance to set up and look at this before they came over. So, again, thank you, Deb.
And Miss Bechtel, thank you for the pizza. All right, Miller back to pass. The Crabbers put a little rush on him, and it is picked off, but then not held on to. Mac Jones had it, and it was torn out of his arms by the offensive player on a good defensive play by the offensive player.
And that was number 20, Tim, because I thought Mac had that thing. But that's one of the adjustments that they made.
Watch the replay here. See if you can see what I'm describing. See, Jones has got it. And then the Lake Taylor player, Daniels Adrian, reached in and pulled it away from him, busting up the interception. So a good play by the receiver, or at least the intended receiver on that play. Third down and about 9. Miller rolling to his left. Now sets up. He's got a man open. It's underthrown. They're going to say he caught the ball? Whoa. That one looked like it might have drawn some dust on the way to the receiver, but the officials much closer to it than we are.
Yeah, that was, but it brings up close. Fourth down. But
it is fourth down.
Yeah, but that was, I didn't think that was a completion. Of course, it's hard to tell. The lighting is not the best here at this field.
This thing should have been condemned 500 years ago.
But the hospitality is at a peak.
At a peak.
All right, they will bring on the kicking team. This is Adam Dirks back deep, standing at his 30-yard line, and he gets it away just barely. And a beautiful kick, driving Campbell all the way back to the 10-yard line. Campbell cuts to the near side, has some running room, and is dragged out of bounds, but not until he gets to the 36-yard line. So a nice return by Carlos Campbell. And they'll mark it clearly, or squarely, I should say, on the 35-yard line where he went out of bounds.
Tim, again, I want to remind the fans that we will pick a player of the game from the Hampton Crabbers tonight, and that player will receive a shirt and a plaque. Shirt comes from Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., and they're located at Tab Square. I want to thank Dave Buckwalder and John Roberts. Give Dave Buckwalder a call out at Engraving Inc. at 596-8850, and give John a call out at Islander Sporting Goods at 868-8467.
42-yard punt, but a nice 21-yard return by Campbell. This is Campbell keeping on the quarterback option, and he picks up 5 out to the 40-yard line. Crabbers at their own 40, leading by just 2 points. 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. Winner of this contest will take on the winner of Heritage Norcom, and we're told that the score at halftime in that game, of course the fans when they see this game will already know the end result, but we're told at halftime that score is 14-12 in favor of Norcom. Second down and 5. Long count by Campbell as he sets. Now they reset. Very close to taking too much time. He does get the play off. Campbell on the option. And again, a good job of denying the option play. That time, reaching in was Marvin Mitchell, number 25, a two-way player for the Titans. And quite frankly, he's been an outstanding two-way player.
He really has. Marvin is 6'4", 230, Tim, just a junior.
So Campbell picks up a couple of yards. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line. They need to get to the 45, so it's 3rd down and 3.
Well, that looks almost, that's a long 3.
Yep. I think. Not having hash marks to go by, it's a little more difficult. Again, Hampton being very deliberate. In no hurry here. Campbell, quarterback keeper. This was a set play, and he is leveled. Who got him? 56.
Number 56 again. That nose tackle or nose guard or whatever.
He is something. This Dwayne Ruffin, he's 6'2", 235. I bet you there's several colleges got his name with a check mark next to it. And that brings up 4th down. Watch the replay here. Watch Campbell. Looks like he's got some running room, and man, is he stuck. He looked like his momentum might carry him to the 45, which is where the first down is. And it looks like the Crabbers are going to go for it, but we know about the hard count. Now, are they willing to burn a timeout here if they can't get the Titans to jump? Yep, they're going to go for it. And Mac Jones got the first down. What a gutsy call.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not like you're at your 20, but you're on your side of midfield in a tight ball game. The Crabbers reached back, got Big Mac to get the first down by a yard.
I tell you, that was a gutsy call.
Watch the replay here. You're going to see this again. Mac Jones just bowled his way, and he picked up the first down at the 46. Little more than 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And again, they stay on the ground. And this is
Big Mac.
Big Mac again. So right now, the Crabbers trying to use their big offensive line to move the football. And by doing that, they'll loosen up that defense a little bit because they'll start to pinch in. And then it'll allow the passing game to perhaps have some success. There was none in the first half. 0 for 2 with a pick.
Michael James, number 17, in on a tackle. Another two-way starter for the Lake Taylor team.
Again, Big Mac. And this time, Jones is across the 45, still going.
Well, you're going
still
to
going.
The whistle.
I'm telling you, no whistle, keep going. If you didn't watch the Green Bay, Minnesota game the other night, when the ball is still in play, you better keep playing it.
You know what I liked about that game more than anything else was that shuffle, that underhanded pass for the touchdown.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Watch this now. Big Mac just says, nope, I'm not done yet. And he got the first down at the 41-yard line. Jones stuck as he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Number 25, Marvin Mitchell.
Marvin Mitchell, he is a sticker too. They've got some good inside defensive play on this team for the Titans. They didn't get to be 9-1 by just cakewalking it.
You're right there. Picked up a yard only that time.
That was one tough yard. Big Mac met Marvin Jones, and they definitely was the clash of the Titans, if you will, pardon that expression. At the 40, gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. Clock moving now as we are under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sudden death here, not in this score, but in this game. You win, you go on. If you lose, it's time to consider what you're going to do for the rest of the year.
Well, those that are coming back will get into the weight room, and those that are not will hit the books and get ready for college recruiting.
Brings up 3rd down, and Well, let's see if I can figure out third to carry 2, divide by 4. Looks like about 3rd and 6.
I was going to say 7, so
And
we'll go with you.
Well, the board says 6. I cheated a little bit.
Oh.
Clock moving as Hampton is grinding this out. At a crucial 4th down and a yard on their side of midfield to keep this drive alive. Very methodical right now. They're taking their time. Play action. Carlos Campbell. And Campbell is thrown for a loss all the way back to the 43-yard line. They have done a great job of containing Carlos Campbell tonight.
They really have. They Crabbers had Jimmy Williams and Alexander Mann out on the pass pattern, and there were 3 defenders back there.
So that loss, I'm sorry?
There was nowhere for Carlos to throw the ball.
That loss makes it 4th down and 11. And now with the ball at the Lake Taylor 43-yard line, Campbell will come on in deep punt formation. And I use that because he is the punter as well as a lot of other things. If you're going to fake the ball, well, who knows? Wouldn't surprise me. This time he does kick it. And it is a high kick, not particularly long. It's down inside the 25-yard line, so not a real long kick. Got a Lake Taylor player who was upended, and that's Dwayne Ruffin, who ended up landing on his head.
Well, he went real high trying to I don't know if we had that on replay, but he went real high to come in to block the punt and was upended.
And landed on his head. I just hope the young man is all right. He did get up and start to walk off and then went down on the ground. Now a couple of people help him to his feet.
Well, here we go. We watch that. Watch him go up in the air right there.
Heads over heels, and it was just a 20-yard punt.
Well, he's running off. He's jogging off, so that's a good sign.
That's a great sign, and he would be sorely missed by that defense because he has been just outstanding. The nose guard, 56, Ruffin, is shaken up, but hopefully will be able to return. These kids are tough. All right, Lake Taylor now with the ball. 4:06 to go in the 3rd. Just the 2nd time they've had the ball. And this one is almost picked off again into a crowd.
And Ruffin is going in, Tim.
Yep. So he's another one of those two-way players.
He plays center. So he's the center. Plays
that's a big loss there. Watch the replay. If he couldn't continue, did have to come out for that one play. There you saw the ball overthrown.
Well, Hampton seems to have more people around the receivers now.
But Miller's just getting too much time to throw. That's the only thing that I would say has occurred here in the first 3 quarters. Mike James in motion to the near side. Miller rolling, looking, has a man over the middle, and the ball is picked off by Campbell, but is there a penalty flag? Yes, there is. It was actually thrown away from the play, so we'll have to see.
That was a great interception. Let's see the call.
Penalty flag away from the actual play, and the Crabbers are indicating it's their ball. Interference on the offense.
Wow. Watch the replay.
This ball just kind of thrown up for grabs. That could have been called interference
on the play.
Defense.
There was pass interference on the offense. An eligible receiver going down, throwing a block. Penalty is declined. Hampton accepts the result of the play and interception. 1st and 10.
Interesting because it wasn't the guy receiving the ball.
Right.
It was an ineligible receiver downfield blocking. So that's why the pass interference.
And that's where our viewers are fortunate to be able to get that understanding, where the fans here in the stands wouldn't have any idea. They would say, well, how in the world would that man been guilty of offensive interference? Joe Smith gets the call. He's been real quiet here in the second half. In fact, I think
they haven't given the ball that
I think that's the first time. Well, that was my point, is he hasn't had the ball.
So that'll make you quiet.
Now you have no flags to call, Bob.
Whoa.
No penalties.
I lost them.
Watch the replay.
Oh, man, I used him up and didn't even know. I wanted to save one in reserve.
I flagged you for that last interruption.
Oh, that's what it was. All right. I'll accept that.
Smith picked up about 4.
And Smith will get the call again. And Smith still on his feet, close to the first down marker. And he will lunge forward. He may have picked it up at the second and third effort. Let's see how they mark the ball. Very close to the first down. Yours truly did not bring a jacket tonight, and I've got to have my head examined at the end of this game to figure out why.
You could use a hat on your head.
Well, the head is all right. It's the arms that are freezing right now. Here's the replay. There you see the Smith effort, and he came up about a yard short of the first down, so it is
I'd
third
give
and
it to
one.
Mac. I'd say, here, Big Mac. But they may just go quarterback, keeper.
No, you had to. It's Smith, actually. And Smith does appear to have the first down. And that will move the chains. So the Crabbers will get a fresh set of downs at the Lake Taylor 23-yard line. 2:20 on the clock, and it's moving here in the third quarter. Still the same score we had at halftime. It was 14-12 Hampton. Neither team has really come close to scoring. This is the best and the deepest drive by either team. Campbell has the football, and boy, they've got him read perfectly tonight. He has been really bottled up. He did go out of bounds. He may have gotten. Well, I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage either, Tim. But I tell you, Hampton looks better going straight ahead and off tackle with. We got clipped.
They'll be going backwards on this play because they're going to be called for a clipping penalty. The Lake Taylor crowd in front of us, happy to hear that. They have to feel a little bit like the calls have gone against them all the way through this game, and quite frankly, to this point, they have. Had a touchdown called back on a holding, and then after the apparent touchdown, had unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so a 25-yard penalty as well as a loss of a touchdown.
On the play, there was a clip against the offense. Replay first down, replaying first down.
So Carter Ficklin's done a great job of keeping us informed tonight. We appreciate his participation in the contest.
Absolutely.
So the Crabbers need to get all the way down to the Lake Taylor 23-yard line. Excuse me, the 13-yard line. I'll get it right yet. That's the yard marker and then 10 more.
You can see better than I can.
First and 26. Quarterback draw. Campbell has not had much opportunity tonight to succeed with that play. But Campbell has such great quickness that if he does get into the open, he will go. Already got a touchdown tonight, but that was as a defender, returning that interception for the go-ahead touchdown the Crabbers got in the first half. Clock moving as we are down to 1 minute left in the third quarter. Hope you're enjoying this contest. Hampton 14, Lake Taylor 12. Eastern Regional Division 5 semifinals. Winner of this contest will play either Norcom or Heritage. Second down and long. Campbell wants to throw. Got a man downfield. It's incomplete, out of bounds. That was Derek Fenner on the pattern. Again, good tight coverage on the play by Lake Taylor. Looked like 21 Philip Holloman defending on the play, and he was going stride for stride.
You're right. That was a good coverage on that, and the ball was, I think, out of bounds had he caught it.
Yeah,
but
so.
Campbell had great protection that time.
Campbell, as you watch the replay of that last effort, as I started to say, Campbell coming back to the huddle after getting the play from the sideline, as you watch the replay. And again, look at the tight coverage. But you're right, they just had no place to complete the pass. Now we've got some confusion about positioning on the field. Alexander Mann gets set. Campbell has some time. He saw that the last time down there, and incomplete again right at the goal line. The ball this time a much better opportunity to catch it, but again couldn't catch up with the ball. And that was Fenner once again, and it looked like to be the same defender on the play, Philip Holloman.
Well, but that time actually Derek Fenner had broken behind him.
Yep. Ball
But it looked like he stumbled a little bit towards the end. And that does bring up a punting situation.
So the Crabbers right now seem to be playing field position. They want to keep Lake Taylor in their end of the field and drive the ball, use up some clock. But again, this is the second punt now. Second time the Crabbers have had to punt here in the third quarter. High punt. Again, takes a Lake Taylor bounce. Crabbers try to get over to down it before it does more damage. Once again, a punt of about 20 yards.
Well, you're punting into the wind.
Yeah, exactly. You're punting into the wind. And on top of that, the ball, because that thing with the 2 points on it, it took a huge bounce backwards. It wasn't bad enough the Crabbers didn't get much distance to begin with, but then it bounced backwards 10 yards. And a net 10-yard punt. And again, that bounce took a good 10 yards off of the length of that punt.
At least.
All right, now with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter, we'll see how the strategy plays out for the Crabbers after they chose to play into the wind in the third quarter. And Keith Jones with a nice run out to the 36-yard line, which will be the final play of the third quarter. He got a first down for the Titans, or close to a first down, I should say, not quite enough. But they will mark the ball and we'll be set to start the fourth quarter. Did we mention during the third quarter about our buddies at Zooms?
Well, I don't think we did talk about Zooms.
Well, we watched the replay.
Again, let me tell the fans that thanks to Zooms, they are giving an award to the senior football player from the Hampton City Schools, Bethel, Kickoff, Phoebus, and Hampton, who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting on the 15th of November. That's next Wednesday. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. And I'll give you those athletes if I can find them. Here they are. Hampton High School, number 55, Chris Perry. Kickoff High School, number 10, Joseph Player. Bethel High School, number 11, Joseph Lyles. And Phoebus High School, number 5, Leon Mizell.
And that lady in your picture behind me and Bob is Miss Bechtel, who is the angel that brought us soft drinks and pizza.
We do appreciate that.
And Deb Rock, again, we can't mention her name and thank her enough for all of the hospitality here that has been offered to us at Norview High School. We really appreciate that.
Well, now the Crabbers have the wind to their back, Tim, for this final quarter. It's funny that we had 26 points scored the first quarter and nothing in the next two quarters.
Yep, the defenses have definitely settled down. Miller, second and short, over the middle, completes the pass. And he's across midfield to Hampton's side of the field. That's number 25, Marvin Mitchell again.
He has been a thorn in the side of the secondary tonight.
That'll be enough for a first down at the Hampton 46-yard line. 16 yards on the play. Watch the replay here. Miller again, no pressure. And the defender just, I think he went for the ball, and Mitchell went right by him.
Yep.
Miller again, straight back, has some time, swing pass, far side, and that's defended nicely by Jimmy Williams.
Jimmy Williams, great job.
He was there in a flash to break that play up, if you will, and keep Keith Jones from getting some yardage after the catch. Lost about 3 on the play. So now it's second down and about 13 to go for the Titans. Less than 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. A 2-point contest. Both Hampton scores coming without the defense being involved. I mean, the offense being involved. Special teams, kick return, and an interception. This is Jones, and he bobs and weaves his way for yardage down to the 42.
Great job avoiding tacklers.
Got a shaken up player. I believe that's a Hampton Crabber that's down, and I can't, nor will I try to guess who it is, but I can't see. Here's the replay. Let's see if we can see what happened on the play. I can see Jones just bulling his way forward. Can't quite make out who that player is, but they are attending to him. Is that Brown? Elton Brown? I think it might be. Yep,
that's
who
exactly
it is.
who it is.
Big kid shaking up on the play.
32. Go.
So Brown slowly coming off the field with a little bit of help. You do have to question his stamina and conditioning at this point, having this being his first true game, but he's played a lot on both sides of the ball. Third down, crucial third down in about 7. 6 or 7, close to 6. And again, the man wide open. He's got the first down.
And not only does he get the first down, Tim makes a good move and picks up a couple more yards.
Mike James, he's just been outstanding tonight for these Titans. So that'll give him a fresh set of downs at the Hampton 33-yard line. 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Hampton holding on to a 2-point lead. On the draw play to Jones. Jones has got some running room, and he picks up about 5 down to the 26-yard line.
And I tell you, I'm impressed with number 32 for the Crabbers.
Lawrence Callis.
Lawrence Callis has just played an outstanding game on the defensive end. He's come up with a lot of big tackles. Looked like he was going to pick up more than 5 yards on that play.
Stephen Lee, along with Brown, check out of the defensive huddle for the Crabbers. Elton Brown was in for that play, now checks back out. Second down and about 5. On the draw play again, they found something that works. Why not? Jones run up the middle. So the passing game has set up the draw play.
Yes, it has. When you're successful with one, it makes the other one work.
So they pick up another first down. Lake Taylor trying to end the Hampton season. Nothing real fancy, but it's effective.
And I'll be surprised if they put it in the air, Tim. They're having very good success at running the ball right now. Put it in the air and you put up it's a possibility of an interception.
First down at the Hampton 20. And Jones gets the call and gets maybe a yard on the play. In to make the stop, 75, Travis Creighton. Just a junior. So got a yard on that play. Second down and 9 as the yardage gets a little more difficult to pick up when you get inside the red zone.
Well, we've seen that year in and year out that the Crabbers, they'll bend, they'll bend, they'll bend. You get down inside the red zone and they won't bend anymore.
Miller on the night, 175 yards in the air. And here he wants to go to the air again. Has some time, and it's 2 Crabbers picked off by Hampton.
And that's
big Mac Jones. Mac Jones with a big interception at the 15-yard line.
I'm very surprised on him throwing that ball, Tim. As I said, that
you got a good point.
You're running the ball, you're moving the ball real good.
You're absolutely right. They go with the old Woody Hayes theory on passing, right?
Well, you pass the ball, 3 things can happen to them are bad.
Exactly.
Interception, incomplete.
Almost had 2 Crabbers fighting for the ball and almost lost the interception. Mac Jones came up with 4 picks in the game now for the Crabbers, and that one was a huge interception for Mac Jones. Gives the ball to Hampton now with 8:05 left in the fourth quarter. Start to use the word regulation here, but a 2-point difference is a difficult thing to end up in a tie. This is Smith. He's got running room, and Smith may go.
He's going. Nobody going to catch him, Tim.
No flags down. Joe Smith in the end zone, touchdown.
And that's from the what?
It looked like it was from the
20-yard line.
Let's see, line of scrimmage was
about 19-yard line. I can see it over there.
19-yard line.
I can finally see something.
An 81-yard run by Joe Smith.
Tim, how big is this extra point? So big is it that if they do get this extra point, then the Titans have to score twice.
The Titans missed the first extra point with a bad kick, tried for 2 on their second touchdown, and that one was intercepted and nullified, so they were unable to capitalize on either extra point. But you're absolutely right, Bob. This is an 8-point game, and it can be 9 if this is extra point is good, and it is.
Oh, that's a big extra point.
21-12 after Joe Smith. Watch the replay, 81 yards. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, nobody had a chance. Right there. Nice block downfield, and
really did.
Nobody to stop him.
There's nobody who's going to catch him. Showed great speed, but once he got through the line of scrimmage, he cut it over to the right, picked up that one block that he needed. And Big Steve Williams was going down to help him out, but he just left Steve in the dust, so to speak.
That's the second touchdown of the ball game for Joe Smith. If you recall, he was the young man who returned the kickoff after the Lake Taylor's second touchdown, 74 yards for a touchdown. So his now 74 and 81 yarders to give Hampton a 9-point lead with 7:51 to go. And now with the wind to their back, that ball in and out of the end zone.
I tell you, I'm impressed with this Crabber. The kicker for the Crabbers, Aaron Whitehead, Tim, kicks the ball well into the wind, but with the wind being his back, it's, no run back.
So the Titans, and I don't know the official count on timeouts, but I don't think they called a timeout in the second half.
I don't think they have either, Tim.
But
they moved the ball well.
Yep.
And they can score quickly with the way that Miller is passing the ball.
But the 9-point difference makes it a 2-score contest, and that is a huge difference.
How important is a good PAT man?
Amen. But again, that's to be determined yet how important that is.
But you said the first touchdown that missed extra point. How big could that be?
It might turn out to be. Over the middle, completes it to Keith Jones, and Jones, who not only runs the ball well, has really good hands. They've gone to him on the pass several times. So Jones was a young man making that draw play work on the last possession that they had before the pick. And boy, you were rather prophetic in your point too, Bob, when you were down there at the 20-yard line. They were moving the ball on the draw play, and then they went to the pass. It amazes you sometimes when you've got something working, stick with it.
Well, my philosophy is you do it until they stop it.
Second down in the yard. This is Miller on the keeper. And Miller, who already showed his speed earlier with a 28-yard touchdown run, gets another first down for the Titans.
At 7:06.
Clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains, and then it'll restart. Ball marked at the 37, about the 37.5-yard line. There you see the scoreboard with less than 7 minutes on the clock. 9-point game in favor of Hampton. Trying to get to the regional finals against either Norcom or Heritage. Miller back to pass, has time, steps up and has it picked off. Mac Jones, Stephen Lee.
Yeah, big number 6.
I saw the size. I didn't see the number, but I saw the size.
Oh,
and that is the 5th pick of the ball game by the Hampton Crabbers. The defense has once again come up huge. The ball marked just across the Lake Taylor 40-yard line.
Those adjustments that the coaching staff made at halftime, especially in the pass coverage, just have really paid off, Tim.
They haven't gotten any additional pressure on Miller to speak of, but he's been throwing into good defensive coverage, and they picked him off for the 3rd time in the second half alone. He got 2 picks in the first half. This is Smith, and Smith's trying to put the nail in the coffin. He's got the sideline. He cuts back. He's still on his feet, and he's tripped up, but not until he's on a 1st and goal for the Crabbers.
Well, I'm impressed with the Crabbers opening up on that left-hand side. Something they found or something's happened, because on the left-hand side that time, on the long touchdown, it was on the right-hand side of the offensive line, and you got to give that offensive line credit. And we're talking about Dale Tidwell at center, Chris Perry and Steve Williams at guards, Elton Brown and Creighton Travis at tackles. And Tim, we're not talking only of those. There are people that come in and out of the game that we don't recognize sometimes. And
Joe Smith, not the.
There's a timeout charge to Lake Taylor.
Joe Smith, 12 carries, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the ball game. So the offense has come alive a little bit here too. That 81-yarder doesn't hurt your average.
Well, you said something about they're not scoring any touchdowns on their offense, and they had to say, wait a minute, Tim.
And I'm glad they did.
Watch this.
The offense had been struggling. And in the first half, just 43 total yards on offense for Hampton against a very good Lake Taylor defense in that first half.
But
It totally shut them down.
Second half, a little different.
Second half, a lot different. I'll get Bob to tell me what kind of stats we've got on offense for the second half here for the Crabbers, if I can. I know we've again, the passing game just hasn't clicked. But, hey, they've been running the ball and doing it well.
Why do you want to pass it when you've got runners like Smith and Mack and
you don't need to.
And Carlos? Hey.
That's the whole point. If you can get it done on the ground, like we talked about, the bad things that can happen when you throw the ball. 5 interceptions for Hank Sawyer's Lake Taylor Titans here in the ball game. 3 in the second half. Mac Jones has picked one off. Joe Smith. And now Stephen Lee. For Smith was for a return. Got 156 yards of offense here in the second half after just 43.
Well, that's about 3 times more than they had the first half. Look at Mack.
And all of those yards on the ground. They have yet to get a pass completion. Is that right, Bob? No pass completions yet. Got an official stoppage of play. We've got an official's timeout. I think we've got a player shaken up here. It looks like a Hampton Crabber. And is that Mac Jones?
Mac looks like he was carrying the ball.
Well, let's hope he's just had the wind knocked out of him, because, boy, that'd be a huge loss to this team.
It is 33. I can see it on his shoulder pads. He's saying, let me rest just a minute here.
I might have gotten a cramp, but they look like they're working.
That's exactly what he's got. And you say, how can you get a cramp when it's cool like this? But understand these young men are sweating out there and losing salt and everything. They're going to get some cramps.
It's a Big Mac who's had an outstanding second half. Now he's going to jog off. He said, man, I just had to get that cramp over with. I'm all right now. You'll have to come out for at least one play.
44, Turtle Fenner comes in the backfield.
It's Smith back there as well, along with Campbell at quarterback. It's 2nd and goal. Ball is right at the 5-yard line, it looks to be.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, it's been an experience. Smith hitting the backfield, and they won't let him loose. He will be stopped cold. In fact, he got a couple of yards backwards on that play. So the Lake Taylor defense is, look, we're not through quite yet. 5:35 on the clock, and it is moving. Lake Taylor has called at least one timeout here in the second half. That called just a moment ago.
I look for him to get the ball to the fullback. They're kind of keying on Joe Smith right now.
Well, they should be. He's burned them.
Well, let's see if young Turtle Fenner gets the ball, gets the call this time.
Killen just told me look for the touchdown pass. Let's see how prophetic that is. We got motion, someone in the neutral zone now where they pull
you
up.
go through us for a loss, we're going to pick up 5 this way.
Now let's see how they call it.
Dead ball penalty, encroachment. The defense is still 3rd down.
That puts it on about the 4-yard line, Tim.
Bob just
3-yard line.
Bob updated me. It's going to be a touchdown for Mac Jones, he said.
All right. Well, he said a pass just a minute ago.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll pass it to Mac Jones.
What did he do, lateral to himself?
For the penalty. See, had to change the call now. 3rd and goal.
Big Mac is in.
Clock moving down to 4:40 in regulation. And Mac Jones, but he did not get in. So it is going to be 4th and goal at about the 2. But as importantly, the clock continues to wind as we are approaching the 4-minute mark.
The field goal's not going to do you any good. Just run the clock. You know, if you turn the ball over, you don't get it. They've got 90-some yards, 98 yards they have to go.
Yeah, if you don't make the first down here, what the heck? We're under 4 minutes. And we've got, again, someone in the neutral zone. Now, we can't get a first down, however.
No, but you can go close. You
get
get a yard closer.
Well, and also, in high school, when they call a penalty.
Dead ball penalty, encroachment, the defense, half the distance, still 4th down.
What I wanted to say was they restart the clock, and the 25-second clock is also restarted, so you have a whole new amount of time that'll wear off the clock.
So you're saying they got to snap the ball when it's 3:25, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you keep getting these penalties, you keep inching forward, but you keep wearing the clock down, and it's a 9-point game. All right, Bob has finally called it. Mac Jones, 1-yard touchdown. Let's see how prophetic he is. Mac Jones in for the score. Mr. Killen is on the ball. So Mac Jones makes it 27-12. I will tell you that Mike Peach, former Pulitzer Prize-winning writer, well, that's
the Daily Press.
With the Daily Press,
who is now no longer there,
and lost his Pulitzer Prize when he left, by the way.
They kept it.
No,
I heard they do.
Kidding about the Pulitzer Prize part, but he told me his prediction was 28-14. He was way off. It's 28-12. He didn't know they were going to miss 2 extra points. So the extra point was good, making it 28-12. And we'll just watch Big Mac Jones bowl his way into the end zone here. And he does, behind that strong offensive line.
You've got Mac Jones and Jimmy Wilson and Williams and Lawrence Callis and Derek Fenner, Joe Smith, Carlos Campbell. You get just so many people that we can pick out for a player of the game. But I tell you, Tim, it's going to be tough, but I think we'll go ahead and we'll pick 2 players of the game. And I'm going to go defensively. I'm going to go with Lawrence Callis. I just think he just did an outstanding job, both halves, defensively.
I couldn't agree with your call on that one anymore.
And who are we going with the second?
Well, I got to go with Joe Smith. He's got the return for the touchdown, and then the big 81-yard run. He's just been he's been the whole offense of the distance type. Mac Jones has done the grinding in the middle of the line, and certainly Mac was a candidate, as a number of players are. Okay, we're going to return to Chittum Field for the conclusion of tonight's ball game after this brief timeout. Okay, back here at Chittum Field, we're set to go with the final 3:23 of the ball game. Miller back to pass, has some time, throws over the middle and completes the pass. He's been really good when, most of the time, but when you get 5 picks, it's hard to win the ball game.
Well, he's hitting the receivers when it's open. What his problem was, one of them was a tip ball.
Right.
A couple of them, he tried to force the ball in where there was coverage, and that'll come, as he gets more experience, but he sure proved me he's got a great arm and a tremendous runner.
Well, this Keith Jones, number 32, is a sophomore, and Miller is a junior. So Lake Taylor will have a strong offensive nucleus in that regard, at least, coming back. And Miller almost sacked. He's tough to bring down. He gives you a shoulder, and that's about all you get. This time, Joe Smith says, I'm tired of this.
I'm quick.
And bulldogged him down for a good defensive play. Smith is quick, all right. Young Joe Smith, our co-player of the game, along with Lawrence Callis. Hampton now with 2:15 and the clock is moving. We'll be moving to a potential rematch with Heritage next Friday night. Heritage, we understand, has gone ahead in that game with Norcom, but that game is not over with yet. Now, if Hampton wins, and it would take a pretty close to a miracle at this point for them not to, and Heritage loses, there's contact. Well, the ball, once it's tipped, they can make contact.
Yeah.
But what I started to say was, if Heritage hangs on and wins, then next Friday night it'll be rematch Heritage Hampton Part 2 at Todd Stadium.
At Todd Stadium.
If Norcom upsets the Canes, then Hampton will host Norcom at Darling Stadium next Friday night.
That would be nice.
That would be real nice. Norcom is the 4 seed, Hampton the 3 seed, Lake Taylor the 2 seed, and Heritage, of course, was the 1 seed. We do have a penalty flag.
After the play was over, there was a dead ball personal foul against the defense. It'll be 15 yards and a first down.
So with 1:48 remaining, a first down will be the order of the day for Lake Taylor as a result of a dead ball personal foul. Again, I want to thank Carter Ficklin for all of his help.
Are we on the snap? Okay, wait for my whistle, guy.
Carter's been very helpful. He really has.
And he always, every year, he's been more than anxious and helpful when we do our ball games.
I want to mention that part of this fourth quarter has been brought to you by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. Miller gets it away into a crowd, and it's picked off for the 6th interception of the ball game. And is that Smith?
I think it's Carlos. No, it's Jimmy Williams.
Jimmy Williams. Couldn't see the number. They were congratulating him and jumping all over him. Jimmy Williams with pick number 6 in the ball game. Well,
I wanted to tell you, you said that Nancy Staten is the funeral is the
yes.
She's the manager of that. While her husband was at the golf course today playing golf and making fun of me because I couldn't go play.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Well, he went to Nasman River, though. He said it's a great course over there. Has invited you and I to come over and play with him one day.
We'll be glad to. All right, with the pass completion now,
and of course I'm talking about Ronnie Staten.
That's right. Now we've got a flag that comes down. We got too many players on the field now. I won't even start to guess, but
Prior to the ball being snapped, there was a substitution infraction against the offense. More than 11 players in the formation. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Must have been against the defense, I think he meant, instead of offense.
Well, no, the offense. Hampton's got the ball on the pick. Oh. I had the same problem. I was looking up thinking it was first down, but it is a first down for the offense with Jimmy Williams' pick. So they had 12 men in the huddle, and that's not against it's against the rules, so you can't do that. But anyway, at this point, these things are rather unimportant as Smith. No, check that. That's Turtle Fenner, 44. And he is all the way down to the 23-yard line. A big first down for the Crabbers. I started to tell you about the Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, though. They're conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of the new facility, please call them or stop by. It's 827-4670. There you see Turtle Fenner, Darylin Turtle Fenner.
Well, they call him Turtle because he used to walk slow, but I tell you, he didn't look slow there.
24 yards were the slowness. First down, Hampton, as we approach the 1-minute mark in the ball game. This is Smith, and Joe Smith has a couple of yards. Again, this one is all over, but the shouting, you can pull out your cliches now, Bob. I thought I'd get that one in before you used them up.
I don't know. I think
I
left him in my book.
Oh, darn. Oh, darn.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's all over but the shouting. Turn out the lights. They flat out beat us. Well, I'll tell you, the coach says I'll take full responsibility. I'm looking forward to spending more time with my family.
Well, if you're Lake Taylor, that's their song. And if you're Hampton, you're looking forward to next Friday night as their season is extended. And that'll be another first down for the Crabbers. That's Turtle Fenner again. And they'll stop the clock while they move the chains. But Crabbers really don't need to run another play.
And I don't think they're going to, Tim.
Don't have to, probably won't. Here's the last play of the ball game right here, the replay. This is Fenner, quick opener, as the Crabbers will win the semifinal contest against Lake Taylor. Lake Taylor, a game football team. They played hard, they played well, but the Hampton defense came up big.
Well, that's what was the difference in this game was the defense, Tim. It started off on the special teams with Joe Smith carrying the ball back on that long run on the kickoff. But the defense stepped up the second half, intercepted the ball. What did it end up? 6 interceptions or something like that. So you just can't turn the ball over that many times and win many ball games.
My gracious, we can close that door.
I don't know why we're holding the door open.
I don't know. But at any rate, the final score is Hampton 28 and Lake Taylor 12. We want to thank our sponsors, Zooms, with 6 convenient locations, and this game brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home. Well, we'll be with you next Friday night if Hampton hosts Norcom. Otherwise, our understanding is that the City of Newport News will have that game, and we'll show it on Channel 46 for you. So for Bob Hintz and Bob Killen and the entire Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.